Good morning from our space capsule here in Vienna. We've got about 6 or 7 hours to explore the city before our flight this evening to Lisbon, Portugal. So let's see what we can find. This hostel will let us store our bags here all day, which is so convenient. We don't have to pay anybody to hold them. We can just go explore, come back, and head to the airport.
The one downside to our hostel is that there's no kitchen, so we couldn't cook our own breakfast, which is what we normally do. So we stopped at a Hofer grocery store. It's kind of like an Aldi or a Lidl, like we've been going to, and we got some pastries. This one has some kind of meat or ham in it, and it looks really, really good. All of this was €6.50. Yep, that'll do. We've seen these donuts even as far away as Slovenia.
It's not that far away. That's right, it's a bordering country.
We've seen these donuts everywhere, so we had to get one. It's a donut. I think it's supposed to be filled with something, but... Oh yeah, there we go.
What is it, apple?
Looks like apple.
Yeah. Nice.
Nice. We're definitely tourists today.
Our first stop is a branch attached to a building that's got thousands of nails sticking out of it.
It's really old and really weird. There's no placard telling you what it is, but we're gonna tell you what it is. Let me know in the comments if I'm right or wrong, but as far as my research shows, this branch has a bunch of handmade nails from blacksmiths from hundreds of years ago. They would make a nail, hammer it into the branch for good luck, and it's still here. But like I said, there's no information surrounding it on the street, so you just kind of have to try to research yourself.
You simply cannot come to Vienna without taking a peek at St. Stephens Cathedral. The roof tiles on this church are super similar to the roof tiles on St. Mark's Church in Zagreb, Croatia. Every single corner you turn around, it's just another grand building of some kind, like straight down the street. It's amazing.
Our next stop is Cafe Central. I love seeing all those ruins. The only sad part is that you can tell that the entire ground underneath you is covered in those ruins also, and all we can see is that little tiny part. On to Cafe Central.
Can't take you anywhere.
The reason Cafe Central is so famous is because this is where all the great minds that lived in Vienna in the 20th century, this was their favorite spot. Sigmund Freud, Trotsky, this was it. It's not the original cafe, but it is in the original building. It's definitely not the cheapest place in town to get a coffee. It cost us €12 total to get a cappuccino and a little pot of coffee, but I think it's worth it to sit in some history. Up next, we're gonna go to the Capuchin Church in the Imperial Crypt.
It's really popular in Vienna to have to pay to use a public restroom. It's 60 cents. I only had €1 on me, but it does spit out change.
So with that, always use the restroom wherever you're eating. Some of those places you still have to pay, but sometimes they give you a little voucher, and then that goes towards your total bill. But always have some spare change on you, because you never know. I love how you got the two golden balls, and on this side you got the guy who's struggling, he's all big muscles, and on the left you've got the female that's like all elegant, holding up the same ball, no struggle.
That's right.
There's so much construction around here, so this is the best shot we're gonna get, but underneath this very unassuming church is the crypt. But it's not just any crypt, it's the Imperial Crypt that holds most of the Habsburgs. The Habsburgs was the royal family that inhabited Vienna for hundreds of years. Let's go look at it. So we didn't know this at first, but it's not free. It's €8 a piece, and we're actually gonna do it. We don't normally pay for things, but today we are. Well, this is amazing. They do offer guided tours once a day, but as of right now, we're the only ones down here, I think.
A bit unexpected, but this is the first museum of any kind that we've been to where there is no English anywhere, so we can't actually read the plaques or give you guys any facts. We're sorry.
There's 145 remains of the Habsburg Dynasty, including 12 emperors and 18 empresses. It's really amazing to see this many Habsburgs in one place. I don't know how many other countries have this many royal in one place. I was most excited to see Archduke Franz Ferdinand's tomb here, but he's one notable figure that is not in this crypt. He was assassinated in 1914, and that kicked off World War I. I'm sorry we didn't have more facts to give. I guess I would recommend going to the one daily tour that they have, or do your own research beforehand, because there's not a whole lot here to read.
Our time here is slowly running out. Last thing on our list is to find a sausage in the street. I don't know. I'm hungry.
Just mustard.
Thank you. I really love sauerkraut, and they give you these little wooden forks. These two sausages and the bread were $13.80. We've officially come full circle. It's time to head back to the space capsule and grab our bags. Last shout out to Space Hostel here in Vienna. That place was awesome. They held your bags, it was very affordable, and it was so relaxed. The fact that it's self-check-in and we didn't encounter like anybody besides other travelers was really cool.
We are now walking to the train station, which is another plus because it's only 15 minutes away. This is obviously the better side of the train station. We're gonna take the RJ train to the airport, and this is quite cheap actually. It was only €4.30 per person. Okay, that was a little bit harder than just riding the metro. There were no like airport symbols or signs, so we had to ask info, and I hope we didn't miss our train. Okay, we are on our right way. Don't ever feel like you have to do this on your own. There's always information. Somebody's working for the train line. Just ask for questions, and that's what they're there to do, is to help you.
This is the nicest airport train I think I've ever seen. Was not the easiest to find, and I'm sure there was like a language barrier back at the other train station. But we got here, we asked some questions, and we made it.
We've made it to the airport. We're a couple hours early, but we didn't really want to sit in the city, and we couldn't sit in our hostel, so here we are.
The Airbnbs in Lisbon weren't super duper affordable, so we ended up booking a shared space with a local, but not just any local. He goes by Tio Dalton, Uncle Dalton, and he is a chef, and if you book more than 6 nights with him, you get a free meal by him. We just found out he's on vacation. So, we no longer get a free meal by a professional cook, but we do end up getting our own place for the week, so that's pretty cool too.
So these flights weren't exactly cheap. The flight from Vienna to Lisbon is $139.60 for both of us. However, the only reason that we are flying TAP Air Portugal and going to Portugal is because we had vouchers. When we had our original one-way tickets booked before COVID shut it all down, we booked through TAP Air Portugal. I decided to take the vouchers for 120% credit. Long story short, all of these flights in Portugal are prepaid and nothing is coming out of our pockets right now.
So not only did we find $500 worth of flight credit, but that credit expired next month. So we wanted to get the most out of it and use up all $500 worth, which we did. And you'll see what that means over the next few weeks.
One more second, sir. I need to check your documents, please. Yeah, I've been calling you.
Oh, really?
What did she mean? She said she was calling you.
Yeah, no, us.
Oh.
So apparently since we're Americans, we don't have the EU Green Pass. They were calling us up to check our COVID information before we got on the flight. Never heard a thing. But we got on, just a little delay. We are totally taking an Uber to our Airbnb. There's no way the public transportation would be significantly cheaper than that. I'm shocked. Also very excited. It's like 10 o'clock right now. I'm tired. Fun fact, if you fly from one Shenzhen country to another, you don't have to go through customs. You just leave the airport. It's like flying from one state to another.
Thank you.
The Uber just dropped us off to our Airbnb, and I do want to say how much more relaxing an Uber is than a taxi. Most taxis from an airport, there's going to be a surcharge, they're probably going to be more expensive, and I just always get the feeling in a taxi that they're like taking us further or a different route just to make more money. And when you get into an Uber, you already know how much you're paying, so you can just kind of relax and look around and talk to your driver.
Okay, Amber.
Well, that was exciting.
Our host went home to Brazil, so we actually have his entire home to ourselves, but he had a friend come over and the friend brought her mother, and it was so cute watching them go back and forth. She gave us some food, wine, basically said it's a free-for-all, anything in the fridge you can have. Yep, I'm excited.
I'm really excited to be here. We're gonna eat some of this food and go to bed.
Good night. Somebody was wearing Giorgio Armani. It smelled really good. These two wieners and the bread were $13.80. You want me to say something else?
Sausage.
Oh.